Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I got some technical. I hope everyone can hear me. Thanks for joining in and welcome to tonight's webinar on Back to the Races. So if you don't hear me or don't see anything, you'll have the ask question box, so you can write to me and let me know if there's any issues during the presentation. I'm excited to present what's new and what to expect after a long time not racing, at least the big ones. I will use Ironman as an example to show the dynamic of the event with the new protocols. Throughout the webinar, feel free to ask any questions that you may have in the ask question box. Of course, I'll address these at the end, and this is a recorded webinar, so of course you'll have access to it at any time for any details you might find useful for your race. So what to expect? Ironman Cozumel was basically the first big race on the America continent. I was lucky to be able to go, and I'm happy to share the experience I had with you. Cozumel was basically set by Ironman as an ambassador for the new race protocols and back to the races and our return to racing. So Ironman has put a pledge and the check, of course, athlete responsibility, respect for other athletes, volunteers, and spectators, and the host venue, athlete self-reliance, and observing the rules of road and the athlete etiquette, which all follows the WHO organization. So the WHO is the World Health Organization, and it was based on the 5 cornerstones: social distancing, contact reduction, monitor and control for all participants, self-reliance, and awareness. So basically, the first step before your big race is at home. Even if you don't do an Ironman, but you go to a big event, or I guess more than 1,000 racer, I'll still check the Ironman.com resources and smart program. So far, that's the best site where I found useful, quick videos, kind of the return pledge you want to apply when you go to a race, the tips that you want to have fresh in your head, and the self-return guidelines, so we are back to racing and don't have to see it all again. Of course, your best friend for the event will always be the athlete guide. I highly recommend it, and before the virtual race meeting. So of course, you can the two will complete each other, and they will boost your confidence for the new how to and be able to race free. So at home, the next step is your virtual race briefing. You won't have any race briefing on site, so don't look for a tent for this. This is at home. The video link can be sent to the athlete or will be on your Ironman event page or your Facebook event page. And I'm assuming any other big race will do the same. I checked Challenge, and this is also, they are putting a video together for their next races. The content will be on the new protocols to follow and, of course, the regular race overview. And your last step at home, this is really important, and this is what's new and what you don't want to forget. You want to sign up for your pre-race. So basically, you'll have to make an appointment for packet pickup and your T1, T2 drop-off for bike or gear. You'll have to choose the time frame for each session. For Cozumel, basically, if I choose, for example, 2 to 3 p.m. for my packet pickup, they gave me 2 to 3 p.m. for my bike drop-off. So basically, you want to find a time where you know you'll be able to be at your race venue. And for the day pre-race, where you have to drop off your bike and your bags, you want to make sure you don't have any other commitment and that you'll be able to be in this time frame. So usually I think they'll set up the same time for the packet pickup and the bike drop off the next day. Remember, this will be a first come, first serve. So as soon as you get your email for registration and sign up, the earliest you go, the more time availability you'll have. Once you sign up, you'll receive a receipt by Active. I recommend that you print the receipt and bring it to the packet pickup. I'm guessing depending on how strict the venue will be, that can be very useful. And remember, the people that check you in are volunteers, so they apply what they are told. So if maybe some of them would be able to welcome you in better if you have your receipt than not having it. So below, this is a statement for actually Ironman Florida that was confirmed. Packet pickup and bike gear check-in by appointment early only, and this means you must select a time frame to attend each session. So again, I want to insist because this is new, and as you get excited for the race and maybe close all of the things you have to do at home, that can be something easy to forget. And I guess that will make things a little bit more complicated once you're on site. So these are the two new steps at home: your video for the athlete briefing and doing your appointment for your check-in times. Then on site, what would be applied is the health screening. You have all the physical distancing enforced, enhanced hygiene. So basically, you have hand sanitizer, carpets for your feet to clean your feet before entering an area. They will spray, the venue will spray the bags area. Some for Cozumel, for example, we had time where they were closing check-in to be able to sanitize the area. If you have a bus for the venue, it will be one seat on, one seat off. And before entering, they will sanitize your bag and you'll apply hand sanitizing. And of course, you'll be wearing your mask. Everything that will be given to you will be all in a clear plastic bag. So this is to enhance all the hygiene protocol to be able to race. All the swim, transition, aid station, and finish line. Again, they will have new procedures. It's pretty simple. It's basically wear your mask and wash your hand and temperature check. But I'll go over all of that in the next slide. So now we are on site. So for packet pickup, again, you'll have your check-in appointment time. I recommend you print your receipt. Of course, this is not mandatory. Again, I'm just precautious for some area that might help you to get in. This is the health questionnaire you'll have. So basically, it's if you've been diagnosed with COVID, if you have been around someone with it, if you are feeling fever, trouble breathing, just a quick questionnaire health check. And then you'll have also the temperature check. This will be done basically anytime you'll enter a new area for the race venue. You will always have, whenever you enter a new area, they will always have a hand sanitizer. If you don't feel comfortable using the one at the race, of course, you can have your own little bottle and basically you show the volunteer that you clean your hand before entering. And you'll have to always wear your mask in the venue for the race. From what I've seen, all the race registration are for athletes only. And for example, the Ironman Village is open to all. So this is an example of how Ironman 70.3 Cozumel look like. So I guess the new thing is the little markers on the ground. As you see, spaced out really well. You'll have a lot of signs like this to tell you the procedure to follow, to remind you to keep space and social distancing. And basically, you also have speakers. To me, it really felt like when you walk in Disney. I guess that's the best example I can give you. It was really welcoming and giving you all the steps to do just before entering the area. So that's a little cartoon of me getting at this race site. So tables were set outside, really well spread out. Again, for if you don't feel comfortable using the pen given, remember to bring your own, or you can always have little hand sanitizer, wipes, or things like that to clean anything you touch, if that's something you will feel more comfortable with. Again, here signs for the face covering at all times. The volunteer with all the protective equipment to stay safe, and taking your questionnaire, the little carpet to clean your feet, and the hand sanitizer at each entry for any part of the venue. So this will be the temperature screening with the laser. Usually it's 100 Fahrenheit or below. And of course, you'll have a lot of signs saying to respect your neighbors and keep your space. So you'll find all the signs throughout the venue. This is how the packet pickup was spread out. So the aisles were definitely a lot wider than before. Also for Cozumel, it was in a convention center. This time they put it outside, again, for more safety. You have the markers for social distancing, and all the volunteers, of course, are equipped with the proper equipment, and we had plastic glass to keep a nice distance, and all the gears were given in a clear plastic bag, and you have extra disposable mask. So now that you've done the packet pickup, the next day probably is your bike and gear drop off. Again, this checking time is going to be the same as the one where you did your pre-race pickup. Again, you always have the temperature check before getting in. The hand sanitizer given. Again, if you have your own, it's okay. Just show the volunteer that you clean your hand before entering, and wear your mask. So basically, this shows all the steps that were taken before entering and dropping off your bike. If for some reason you get in, you're right to drop your bike, and for your skin temperature is a little bit high and you don't pass the screening temperature check, it's okay. They won't tell you to go home and not race. You can always come back. They recommend 15 minutes later, or ask for a different time to come back later. Basically, throughout the event, whenever you fail a temperature check, it doesn't mean you won't have to do it. If you run before or stay a long time in the sun, or car with no AC, that can be things that raise your body temperature. So don't worry. Just ask when you can come back and try again. So on race day, again, the same thing, temperature check. It was not recommended to do your warm up before entering because that can raise your temperature. So if you don't want to run out of time, it's better to stay in transition and get your race ready. Of course, the hand sanitizer before entering. For this moment, it is recommended to wear a disposable mask because you'll have to throw it away. So if you have a mask that you really care about, probably don't take it on race day because you'll have to throw it away. No body marking. So that's new. There won't be volunteer doing body marking. Basically, your number is on your race cap. So for the swim cap, make sure you have your number on it. Then your number sticker for the bike and helmet, and then your bib number for the run. Usually the venue will have the disposable mask available to you in transition, but I personally recommend that you have your new race morning essentials with your own little hand sanitizer and disposable mask like this. So for me, it was easy I like to use a clear Ziploc, so I put things like this that can be easily lost in my bag. So I had it handy right away when I was in. So when you have extra, you won't be stressed by not having it, and not finding if you make yours drop or if it breaks, you always have one handy for your pre-race. Because the mask is very important because you have to always wear it, and you have to wear it all the way to the swim stop. So in Cozumel, basically, we had the bin just before entering, and as you can see, the social distancing was well spread out. Usually, everybody was all together really close, and they did a really good job at spacing all the athletes. So no worries, you have the trash bin before entering the water. Again, this is why you want to prefer a disposable mask so you don't lose yours. If you have a rolling start for your race, in Cozumel, they asked to stay at the bike, and then they called out basically based on your swim time, they ask you to walk and keep your social distancing with others. Then, of course, for your own race, you want to always check your athlete guide for the specific race day protocol. But that gives you a nice idea of how it will look like. So the aid station, that's the tricky one because we can keep hearing you have to be self-reliant, and so we ask ourselves, am I going to have any water or Gatorade or anything? Well, the truth is actually they had it all. So all was in water bottle, Gatorade bottles, gels, etc. For the bike, they give you all by the volunteers, but you will have less volunteers. They will wear the personal protective equipment. So what I recommend is that you always plan ahead. So before you start the race, plan on having what you can have on your bike with your hydration, what you can have for nutrition, and then if you know you have to take aid station during the course, just plan ahead, meaning that if you have one bottle left still, take what you need and don't wait the next one, because since the aid station will be with less volunteers, they might not be available to you on the first one that you go, or maybe they're ending only water at that moment and there will be only a Gatorade bottle. So with aid station every 15 miles, you'll have plenty of opportunity for it, but just don't say I don't want to take bottles to be later and wait to the last station to take something. So again, at Cozumel, it was basically like it used to be, just a little bit less people at the aid station. For Ironman Arizona, this is what I saw they were going to give this weekend. So Gatorade Endurance Formula, the Endurance Energy Gels, the shoes, the Red Bull Fig Bars, and the Quantum Energy Squares. So all the nutrition and hydration you'll need. But remember, because of the no-touch protocol, there is no sunscreen or Vaseline, anything like that. It's only closed hydration and closed packages of gels and nutrition. For the run, so basically again, you'll have all you need as water bottles, Gatorade, gels, snack in packages or cups. If they give fruits, they will be whole, so not cut. The difference with the bike is this time they are self-served. So you'll have to do a grab and go, and they were spread out as they used to be every mile. So you have the opportunity for your aid station, and they ask you to think about the others competitors. So just take your hydration or nutrition, and if you cannot run right away, just keep on walking and make it a dynamic aid station, basically. So the volunteers will prepare the table, but they won't be able to give it to you. So if you also are wondering about the safety of the bottles, if they are clean, so basically they had sanitization of each of the bottles before putting it on the table. Again, with the no touch protocols, no sunscreen, so in places like Cozumel or Arizona or even Florida, that can be something very essential for you for the run. So remember to have it in your transition bag and apply it yourself before going out on the run, or prepare an equipment that minimize your sun exposure. And I didn't write it here, but it's the same with Vaseline. So if you tend to have blisters or things like that, make sure you have it in your transition bag and apply it before you go, because definitely this is something you won't have. For the 70.3, there was no problem with running out of water or Gatorade or nutrition. But for the Ironman, because it's a long day, again, the volunteers are not that many. Always make sure that you have your 8 station bag, and fill it with anything that you might need for the Ironman. So that's something a little bit extra for the Ironman. Maybe usually in your own 8 station, you only add maybe nothing or just a bottle. Well, plan ahead and have a little bit extra in case you need it. So yeah, the finish line. Of course it's a time to celebrate. So make sure you walk through it and enjoy that moment, especially after so many hours training inside or even racing inside. This is the time to enjoy. Unfortunately, as it has been now a little bit more frequent, it's no family, it's only the athlete crossing the finish line. Once you pass the finish line, it's the no touch protocol. You'll have to wash your hand with the venue hand sanitizer, and you'll have to wear the disposable mask basically right away as you cross the finish line. But then you have time. The recovery aisle are more spread out, and it was well spaced, so you don't have to kind of walk fast to get out. It's just again, keep it dynamic and make it fluid and don't block. But you have plenty of space. Your medals will come with an hydration and a snack in a bag. And then you keep on walking and you have the tent for the finisher t-shirt, the tent for your award for top 5 age group. Well, at least that was the case for Casimir. And of course, lost and found tent. So again, once before you finish, definitely make the time to enjoy your race and the accomplishment you just did. So yes, unfortunately, I guess the sad thing at the moment to come back to races is that there is restricted areas and there will be only 4 athletes. So there are space where it's not open for spectator or coach or family, and it is actually really enforced. So Cozumel was at swim start and packet pickup. So you have to check the athlete guide for the restricted areas and the athletes only area. I have also just read that some race can be no spectator and only athletes. At least that's what's written for Ironman Florida. I guess the point is that they want to spread the people and don't have a cluster of a lot of people. So that, yes, that is the little kind of sad thing of coming back to races at the moment. Mask, that's your new race gear essential. Basically, you'll have to wear it for all pre-race, post-race, and remember, the mask can be mandatory in the public area of your host town. It might not be where you live, so make sure you check the area for if it is mandatory or not. Disposable masks are recommended to swim start. Remember, you'll have to throw these away, so if you care about a mask, make sure you don't have this one on race morning. And the disposable mask will be given at the finish line. Again, once you cross the finish line, you'll have to wear it again. So what to look for the next Ironman races where you can apply. What I just spoke about is 70.3 Arizona this weekend, Ironman Florida on November 7th, and Ironman Cozumel on November 22nd. That's the one I know for sure, and I've seen the event confirmed. They still have 70.3 Texas in Galveston, end of November, and Ironman Arizona, end of November, and 70.3 Florida in mid-December. And again, Cozumel was a kind of like a test event to make sure all of these were going to happen. And I'm sure for each state, any event is kind of a test for it to keep on going. So the more we are aware of all those protocols and the more we respect them, I guess the more race we'll see happening in 2021. Another big race event is the Challenge Family North America with the Multisport Festival on December 5th and 6th. I didn't write it, sorry, I forgot. It's in Daytona, Florida, and you'll have a triathlon sprint, a middle distance race, triathlon, aquabike, run, junior, and the PTO championships for the professional athletes. So some of the useful links, of course, there's not only Ironman, but so far that's the one I found with the most pictures and little tips that can help you even for other races. So I wanted to put them back here in case you need it. Because remember, this webinar is recorded, so you can always find anything in it anytime. So this is what I thought would be very essential for you to use for your next race. Thanks everyone for listening, and don't hesitate to ask questions. You have the ask question box. So far I haven't seen any, but don't hesitate to ask any questions. These are the new protocols, and of course they are our opportunity to be back racing and doing what we love. I personally felt very safe throughout the event. And remember to anticipate that would be the best way to be self-reliant and to be able to, I guess, race free and make the most out of your race. So if no one has any further questions around the webinar, I'll wait a little bit. But thanks again, and happy racing. I guess I should say happy, safe racing. Thanks again, and bye-bye.